The law of attraction just basically says this: you attract into your life whatever you focus on the most. Whatever you believe is going to happen is probably what's going to happen. Whatever you think at your core about yourself is what you are going to manifest about yourself and about the world.
I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. And me signing my signature with Champion 2011 on it, it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more. You know. So yeah. I mean, it works for me.
I've manifested things that I'm just like, I still shock myself, like, how the f did I make that happen? And this is not even to do with fighting, this is to do with my personal life. And I'm like, I made that happen. And this is through this like manifesting subconsciously as well. Just years of something just manifesting, and boom, it's right there. I'm just like, shit, I really made that happen. It's scary, man. It's scary for me to even think about.
But before you can ever reach anything, you have to believe it. You don't just mistakenly become great at something. You probably at one time or another, believe that you can be great at that. And then you work to get great at that, and you reach that greatness. But you don't mistakenly become great. And then you start to believe, oh man, I'm great at that. No, you believed that before, and you work to get that. So I always believe that, and I'll work every day to reach that.
I wrote myself a check for $10 million. For acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and I put it in my wallet and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff, but then just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber, maybe.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah. So you visualize yourself like... Visualization works if you work hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can't just visualize and then, you know, go eat a sandwich.
In my mind, I see that if you know where you're going, your car self-drives. You almost are always walking in the direction because you can see it. I know that at some point I will do this.
Only discipline wouldn't be helpful if in the first place you do not possess the ability to see it, to realize it, to be aware of it. Meaning you have discipline, but you are never aware actually when is the moment actually appearing right now that this sensory desire is hitting in. You're not aware of it. So the discipline wouldn't help you if you don't have this awareness to live in the here and now. Stop jumping into the past and stop jumping into the future. Then you live in the here and now. But you must practice it. And literally meaning how you do it, make yourself empty. Because the only thing that fills your mind with past and future is your thoughts. The mind.
Where you are now is just a reflection of your past thoughts, your past thinking. So if you want to change your future, you got to change your thoughts now and then put them into action ultimately. But don't forget the law of detachment.
I had to make a lot of decisions that weren't favorable, that wasn't cool, that wasn't like what you're supposed to do when you're in my position. I had to go against the grain. And that's when I realized that I'm a disruptor and I'm a visionary, because I can tell you in 10 years what I want to be like. When I can tell you in 20 years where I want to live at. You know what I mean? I can see it, right? And then I can tell you what I'm not scared to go up against to get there.
Yeah, I just think visualizing something and believing in it is just very important to the process of success.
Everything comes from the imagination. So the power of the mind, people don't understand. We still don't understand. I still don't understand how powerful it is. I'm still learning. But I know one thing is I can make things happen.
It's not something I tell myself, it's something I picture. Goals are intangible. They always start as intangible. You first have to see it in your mind first in order for it to become true. And it's interesting because when I'm traveling a lot, people always ask me the same questions. How does it feel to play in the NFL, right? And I always respond and say, it feels exactly how you think it would feel if you reached your goals. And I would see the person's face just light up because they were able in that moment to picture what it would feel like if they accomplished their goals. So that's what I always would tell myself. What would it feel like if Leah beat cancer? What would it feel like if you made it to the NFL? Because what I did was take that feelings and compare it to the pain I was facing at the time. And if that feeling of overcoming the obstacles I was facing was greater than the pain, then I kept pushing. You know, I wanted to use my pain in order to get me to greatness, but I first had to feel and see what it would be like if I overcame these obstacles and achieved my goals.
You say it, and you just have to do it. It's not gonna come to you. If you're gonna say it, you have to follow it with your actions, and you have to manifest it with how much do you want it, and is it within your spirit that once you have it, can you hold it? Can you keep it?
And I'm a firm believer of speaking things into existence.
Same here, brother.
I'm a firm believer of, you work and the universe gives back to you. I'm a firm believer in that stuff. You feel me? In the law of attraction, of course.
And I also feel often that that things that I repetitively think about or say, I'm able to manifest. Like, this house, for example, I manifested this.
As a competitor, if you're trying to do something meaningful, if you don't have the mindset that you're the best ever, you failed already. So if you don't have the mindset that you are the best reporter ever, then you already failed. And that's been my mindset since I can remember. That will be my mindset as long as I can remember anything, that I am the best ever at what I do. And every day that I step on the basketball floor, I will strive to be that. But my mindset will always be as such, as I am the best to do what I do. And that'll give me a shot at being the best.
No matter what your stance is on the law of attraction, it works. The only problem is that most people are unconsciously attracting what they don't want into their lives. You have to basically brainwash all 40 trillion of your cells to believe that what you want, you will get, and there is no other option. No other option can exist. If there is a tinge of doubt, it is less likely to happen.
4th grade, I went in my closet, I said, I am going to the NBA. Anything you invoke with I am after it, the power of manifestation and what can happen in the universe comes true.
Because I always remember my mother always said to me, if you can see it, you can be it.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it.
Wake up every day. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your dream? It's so much easier to forget that vision than to remember it.
Make this note. Don't become a victim of yourself. Forget the thief in the alley that's after your purse. What about the thief in your mind that's after your promise? Don't doubt your own ability.
There's this thing about people and they talk about manifesting. It's f***ing real, man. Manifesting is real. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
And there's no excuses, there's no fucking days off, there's no not willing to grind, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
Anytime you want to, you can say, I'm going to change my attitude. I'm going to change my abilities. Take on that as your God-given right to change your life to whatever degree you want it to change.
Everything comes from the imagination. So the power of the mind, people don't understand. We still don't understand. I still don't understand how powerful it is. I'm still learning. But I know one thing is I can make things happen.
The question is, will you put the work in that is required to manifest? I'm just just wondering if there's anybody here that wants their future, that wants to fulfill their destiny, that wants to manifest, that wants to walk in discipline and determination. I'm just wondering, is there anybody here that's willing to disappear?
In the core of your being, do you realize that you're a star?
Yeah, I always knew so. I knew I wasn't gonna be regular. I just knew like I was gonna be great at something. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was gonna be great at something. I just knew. Bro, I can manifest like a motherfucker.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
There was a book, and it said, Think and Grow Rich.
And I remember going through the pages and reading the principles.
The foundation of this is anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past or how lofty your aims and hopes may be.
Manifesting is real.
Now, whatever you send into the universe sends right back at you. And when it's coming back, that's your law of attraction.
It's a choice. It's a matter of the heart. That your mindset could change your whole atmosphere. That you can turn your mess into a message and your test into a testimony.
Everything comes from the imagination.
A lot of people were surprised when they found out that you've been signing your name as Champ 2011. How did that come about?
I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. And me signing my signature with Champion 2011 on it can't hurt me. It can't hurt me. It could only help me to believe it even more.
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world. It's simple.
I wrote myself a check for $10 million per picture.
See, this is
by Thanksgiving 1995. That's the actual check I wrote myself 4 years ago, and that's so I'm kind of here to say that visualization does work.
I've manifested things that I'm just like, I still shock myself, like, how the f did I make that happen? And this is not even to do with fighting, this is to do with my personal life. And I'm like, I made that happen. And this is through this like manifesting subconsciously as well. Just years of something just manifesting, and boom, it's right there. I'm just like, shit, I really made that happen. It's scary, man. It's scary for me to even think about.
You attract, not just what you feel, you attract what you feel, what you are, what you attract.
What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying, I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it.
Unpack the gift of the present and let the future be your motivation. Everybody is looking to manifest. We're all looking to manifest something. We'll lose sleep to manifest, and we'll work 2 or 3 jobs to manifest, and we'll study for hours in a day to manifest. We are all looking to manifest something.
Let me call your attention to a great power which is under your control. A power which is greater than poverty, greater than the lack of education, greater than all of your fears and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire.
I went home and I prayed for a bicycle, and then I got a bicycle. It showed up in my living room. Brand new Mustang bike. I put it in one of the scenes in Eternal Sunshine. The Mustang bike with a banana seat. I manifested it. I stood there in an open field like this, with my arms out.
Once I started to transition from, I don't know what I'm gonna do, how am I gonna ever get off my sister's couch, who will ever pay me, how am I ever to get to graduate, how am I ever to gain experience, I'm too young. Once I started shifting all those thoughts to, it is possible, I do believe in myself, I am great, I'm gonna work really hard to develop skills that are gonna help me move me forward. That's when everything started to shift. When I shifted, my inner world, my outer world opened up to me for incredible possibilities.
I don't care what level you get to. I need you to dream, right? I need you to, guys, I need you to spend a considerable amount of time dreaming every single day. Let me tell you why. I've noticed that the people who dream and those people who dream big have a different kind of life than the people who don't dream.
And so there are a few things that we have to understand in order to manifest this future. The future, when it is no longer a distant dream, some possibility, some idea, but it's a very present target. All of a sudden, everything changes. And so you may be average, you may be ordinary, but you have the opportunity every single day to make extraordinary decisions. And what you do today will determine your future.
So if you were here and you like, I'm scared, whatever you do this for me. Do not sabotage yourself with fear. Fear is not real. That's something in your brain. Like, it does not exist. How do we get over it? You get over it by dreaming of what you can be. Come on, y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. There are those of you in this room, you spend a majority of your life doing what other people want you to do. You don't even know who you are. And so even what you're doing, you're not doing at 120% because you're doing what somebody else wants you to do, and you're not good enough to be somebody else.
The future you would say thank you for not allowing the despair and the anguish and the anger and the bitterness and the jealousy and the ego to eat away at your progress and your perseverance and your ability to travail and endure.
What you're trained to think about when you think about manifesting is vision boards. And when you hear the word vision boards, you think about the big stuff. Should you have big dreams? Of course you should. Here's where everybody goes wrong. You dream about the end. You make this gorgeous collage of all this stuff that has nothing to do with your current life. That literally, as you're sitting in your studio apartment with the cat box that hasn't been changed in 2 weeks.
No food in the fridge.
No food in the fridge. And you're looking for a job and you're staring at a mansion going, someday. It's going to make you feel like a loser because the gap between where you are and where you want to go, it seems insurmountable. And so what happens based on the research is when you only visualize the end game, Lewis, it's demotivating. At first, it's really fun to like have a bottle of wine and make your like collage. I'm gonna visualize, I'm gonna slap this up. There's my vision board, it's fabulous. Law of attraction, baby. Come on, I'm gonna think about it, it's gonna come to me. Okay, I've been doing this for 2 days. I'm still in this apartment with the cat box that needs to be changed. The way to visualize properly is to visualize the bridge between where you are and where you need to go.
The bridge.
Yes, and particularly the horrible stuff. What you do by visualizing the bridge is you train your nervous system and your mind to do the hard work. So you should visualize not crossing the finish line, but what is it like to be at mile 12 when your batteries run out on your earbuds?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. And you keep going. What's it like when your shoelace breaks and now your heel is lifting and you're starting to get a blood blister at mile 17? What's it feel like when you wake up and it is pouring rain and you visualize yourself running anyway? That way, when you visualize the work, you are preparing your body for it so you're not resistant to it when it comes.
I think anything a mind can conceive, if you think about it often enough, you will come to believe it. So you don't have to believe it to start off with, because I didn't believe it. And I'm speaking from experience here. I didn't believe I'd ever get the $25,000. I didn't even know anyone with $25,000. But I kept reading the book. Now, do you know, a strange thing happened. See, when you write something, writing causes thinking. Thinking creates an image. The image then is impregnated into cells in your brain. All I was thinking about prior to that was debt. If a person has a goal of getting out of debt, they will probably stay in debt forever because that's what you think about. And whenever you think about and get emotionally involved with, you're going to attract. You get on a frequency that it's on and you attract it. I kept reading the card and I started to think of earning money. Now, many people would say, well, weren't you thinking of that before? No, I was thinking of debt. And because I was thinking about it, I started to hear people talking about it. And because I heard people talking about it, I would start thinking about it more. And I thought the answer was work harder. Napoleon Hill said, if you are one of those people who believe that hard work and honesty alone will bring riches, perish the thought because it's not true. Within a year of picking up this book, with no formal education, I had 2 months high school. I had no business experience. So you see, they were good reasons for not winning, and I bought into it. But Ray told me, he said, Bob, that's why you can't win. How about all the reasons why you can?
That I'm not powerless, I'm not unmanageable, I can control my life, I'm gonna get rich. And so if I could just stay busy, okay, if I could just have a place to work every day and something to do and somebody to call and somebody to be in front of, that was my big fear. My big fear was that little white pill. I threw those in the trash that night. Never would use another one again. And I just made a decision that day not to quit, not to be powerless, not to be unmanageable, but to be somebody. And I've been doing that since I was 25. Every day waking up, today I'm gonna be somebody. I'm not just gonna think about it, I'm gonna be somebody today. I'm gonna grow into who I should be.
And I started to question a lot of ideas. Like the idea that you have to be really smart if you're gonna earn a lot of money. I was earning a lot of money and I knew I wasn't that smart. So I started to question all my beliefs. And that's when I made up my mind I was gonna figure out why I was winning. I did not believe that there was an emotional or capricious God that reached out and said, let's let Bob have a turn. I didn't think I was lucky, but I thought somebody has to know why I win, and I'm gonna figure it out. And I started to study. He said there's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one's ready for a thing until they believe that they can acquire it. He said the state of mind must be belief and not mere hope or wish. So then I think, well, how do you believe? Where do your beliefs come from? Do you just say, I believe? There's more to it than that. Our belief system is based upon our evaluation of something. And frequently, if you reevaluate a situation, your belief about that situation will change. And suddenly, I realized I'd figured it out. It had taken me 9.5 years from that day in London, trying to figure out why did I change. 9.5 years later, in the restaurant, it dawned on me. My belief system had changed because I was reevaluating who I was. No amount of reading or memorizing makes us successful. It's the understanding and application of wise thoughts that count. So I started to study this from a totally different perspective. And when I did figure it out, I started to understand Napoleon Hill better. Because all he wanted to do was teach it. And when I got it figured out, that's all I wanted to do was teach it.
I hated my current existence. And so I think some people don't hate their current existence enough. And so I don't think you either have to really believe that this thing's going to happen or you have to know that your life sucks. And I knew that my life sucked. And so I knew that if I did something else, it would have a higher likelihood of changing my life than not doing something. And at least that's how I would say that I probably saw it in the beginning. It's I didn't know if it was going to work, but I knew that I wasn't going to stop.
That's the thing. I wake up every single day and I think to myself, I am the most unqualified non-development tech founder in the face of this internet, and yet I'm still going to do it because I don't want to lie at the end of my life and think I wish I would have tried something.
Ask the questions of what you want to do next. The world is going to put you in the box on what you have to do next because they're determining who you need to be. And you are rising up to their expectations because you're not asking the questions yourself. So clarity to me is stemmed from you being able to sit down and ask those tough questions that piss you off, that irritate you, that make you emotional, that you cry over, that you reflect, that makes you want to do research, that makes you follow up, that makes you sit down and say, I don't really know.
The crazy part about business, this is kind of the craziest part, at the same time, you only need one hit. Just one. So as long, with $1 Million Weekend in the book, one of the biggest breakthroughs for people is just getting started because Zuckerberg really has done one thing. He started Facebook.
Either you have to have a reward that incentivizes you, it's the away towards or away. It's either we're going away from pain or we're going towards pleasure. And I think a lot of people are really looking for that passion that's going to be towards. But I think early days, and I talk a lot about this, but I think negative motivation is poo-pooed too much. If you are angry, use it. If you are sad, use it. Because what else are you going to do with it? You might as well let it help you. Or it uses you. You know what I mean? And so I always like to see when I was in my earlier days, I felt like I was wielding my anger at least in a direction. And I think also a lot of people think that they have to get it right on the first shot. But one of the beliefs that I had was that I just want to be directionally correct. If I move, I know that I don't like this. And so this way is not where I am. And so I will start taking steps this way. And from the story that you at least heard, it's I'll ping pong a little bit to try and directionally move that way. And it's funny because Caleb's seen plenty of things from what we do at acquisition.com where we're like, we'll try it out. And if it doesn't work, we're like, oops. All good.
I'm going to give the advice that I heard my third year of business. I was sitting with a group of other photographers who were farther in their career, and I had always found a way, even though I couldn't afford to get educated specifically in the photography realm because there was like very high ticket experiences, I would find a way to leverage what I thought I was good at in exchange. I'm a firm believer in bartering. Bartering is my favorite thing. And so I realized that while I'm not necessarily a copywriter, I wouldn't classify myself as like a writer. I had a blog at the time. I still have a blog, but at the time I was blogging every single day, and other photographers started noticing the quality of work that I was doing. And so I found a photographer in my area. I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and I said, hey, would I be able to go to your event and write a few blog posts about your event? And in addition to, if you let me come, could I also write your bio, like for your website? Because I gave like a little preview. I was like, his bio was just like, great photographer, love my camera. And I kind of wrote just like the first paragraph of what could be his bio based on things that I had read about him on the internet. And he was just like, yes. So I got into this room, and what he said, I felt like it just pierced my heart. And this is the thing that I will tell everybody again and again. He said, jump and the net will appear. And it was the first time in my entire life that I had ever heard somebody speak so brazenly about taking a risk. Again, who I am now as a risk taker is so different than who I was when I began. And the way that you strengthen that risk muscle is by taking risks. And when he said that 3 years into it, I realized, okay, now is the time for me to start taking those risks. I wish somebody would have told me that sooner. And this is always the advice I always go back to: jump and the net will appear.
A lot of people are chasing content creation, or they were chasing crypto last week, or they're chasing blogging years ago, and now AI everyone's chasing. And so what I'd recommend for other people out there, and I've been able to do this literally, I've chosen so many $1 trillion markets to be around, and a lot of my success is just because I'm in the market, and the market does well. But I'm curious about these things, number one. So I was curious about social networking, and I was like, oh shit, that's big. Because I got onto it, and I was able to see like, wow, you can connect with the entire world, even though there wasn't really the entire world at that point. So curious, same with mint.com. I was like, man, money, I think worldwide it's pretty important. I think there's going to be something, if you have a free money tool, that's going to be big. Same thing then with Facebook games, that was going to be big. Then I did payments for games, that was big. And then I did kind of a Groupon business, which became AppSumo, that was big. Then we built sumome.com, that was big, which is a software tool. So ideally, number one, you're curious. So I can talk about my crypto thing because I think that's kind of an interesting example of it. Number two, how do you get a part of it today, right now, not how? Don't worry that you don't have a website. Don't worry you don't have a big social media presence. But what can you take action on to put yourself in that space? So can you be in a community online? Can you geographically move? Can you start creating in that space? So I think people are curious maybe, and they can find it, but they don't necessarily try it and understand it, and they don't do anything about it. So even with crypto, got involved. I heard about it in 2012, didn't do anything. I thought it was stupid. And then in 2016, I had to buy an illegal NFL stream. That's how I got into crypto. And so I bought this illegal NFL stream on a website, seasonsforyou.com, and I saw the power of what this could be. And then I started buying at that point, and that's where it's now become a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And I think the biggest thing for everyone out there is, what are you doing on your phone all day? There's probably something within there that's $1 billion opportunity. Same thing on what you're doing outside, same thing what you're watching on content. And just being a little bit more curious and then taking action around that.
My executive team, they decided to skip their salary for a month so that everybody else could get paid. We had maybe 60, 70 employees at that time. Unfortunately, January came in, and January is always a great month for personal growth, and we had a campaign that worked, and we were able to get back on our feet. But these type of moments, they're soul crushing. They keep you up at night. But you gotta be prepared to go through them on your journey. But again, if you adopt the attitude that the number one thing is your growth, is how much you're learning, you're better able to go through these ups and these downs. Like the ups don't go to your head, and the downs don't destroy you.
Get to the deeper part of who do you want to be, what life do you want to live, and why do you want to live this stuff? Why is it important to you? Why is it worth you putting through all these hours? Why would you want to do that? That's transition when you go through it. And then the pressure part, when you said, here's who I'm going to be, where you declare your intentions to the world. this is what I'm going to be doing. A lot of times we keep things a secret. And so there's a debate. Some say you should never declare your intentions to the world because that pressure could create anxiety. You should never do it. You know, like Babe Ruth pointed a finger and I'm going to hit a home run. What if you don't hit it? What if you fail? You know, what if you say, Michael Jordan says, the Bulls never losing game 7. You should never say that because there's too much pressure on the players. Or then the other side said, well, you should put the pressure on yourself because your teammates play better because it's not on them, it's on you. And the leader does that. To me, I think declaring intention serves a purpose. I think when you go out there and you say, this is what I'm going to be doing, this is where I'm going to be at, you officially have the world holding you accountable. That pressure could be good pressure to put into your life. We hear the phrase peer pressure, and we always get the negative connotation with peer pressure, right? It's like, hey, don't do drugs because of peer pressure. You know, say no to drugs, peer pressure. Go to school, peer pressure, peer pressure.
I think about death all the time. It's like, I'm going to die. And I think you have to agitate the pain for yourself. Like, you have to stoke the pain. Like, if you can't get through, because like, it would be odd that you would be motivated by some weird passion. Like, not everyone's Mozart and just like, I just love music and I see see numbers and colors, whatever. Like, some people are like that, but most people aren't. And so if you're not that, then you only start really liking stuff when you get good at it, in my opinion. And you only get good at it by doing it a lot of times before you're good at it. And so this is why I'm a big believer in this, is that when you are starting out, I think you got to find the thing that's the pain. And like, pain motivates significantly faster and stronger than pleasure does. Like, people are like, no, passion's the right way. It's like, point a gun at a family member, all of a sudden, 10 out of 10 motivation, pain. And so like, I think people should use their pain more. And if they don't have enough pain, then one, maybe that's fine. And you're a dreamer and that's okay. But I will tell you that a word that I read in my like 6-month journey between when I wanted to quit and when I actually quit, there was this word that just like pissed me off. And it was this in this self-help or entrepreneur book. And it said, there are entrepreneurs and there are wantrepreneurs. And I was like, and it was like, wantrepreneurs are people who read these books and don't do anything. And I was just like, I don't want to be one. I was like, I am one of these right now. And it just like felt so powerless. And I think that my entire life has been a lot of trying to have power. And I mean that in the true sense of just being able to direct influence in events. I've wanted to have more power to protect myself, protect the people I care about, etc. And I felt very powerless. And I think that I was in that comfortable, like my dad approved of my current situation. I had a job that when I told people, they're like, oh, that's fancy. But I felt powerless. And I hated that more than anything. And so I think if I want to say this to anyone who's listening, if there's anything you listen to, all the stuff that I described that was really tough, that I went through, was not as hard as me quitting my job. By far, the hardest decision of my entire life, bar none. Because the things that I was actually caught up with were the opinions of other people. Opinions of my father, and the opinions of the people that I went to school with who I thought would judge me for leaving this good job to probably become a failed gym owner. And how lame that would sound compared to consultant, going to Harvard and blah, blah, like I was going to go from peak white collar to a very blue collar, profession making significantly less because I quote loved it. And like, I'll say this again, but like sometimes you have to let other people's dreams for your life die for yours to live.
I'm just stubborn, man. I just never give up. You're crazy until you're successful. Then you're a genius. Get a life, be realistic. People will convince you you're out of your mind for wanting to do this. Then once you're successful, they're like, yo, your drive, your tenacity was great. But it's like, yeah, well, where was that back then?
I knew deep down that I could do something. I was different from other people. I had different experiences. There was something I needed to express. There was a purpose to how my life had unfolded, but I couldn't find it.
If you look at the great ones, they have one thing in common. They suffered more than most people. Greatness really flows from our disconnection to who we are.
Intake, the outtake of what you call life is nothing more than time. And unless done something with, it's forgotten about.
It's funny, when you're making lots of money, it's like admirable, it's respectable. It's like, look, those are traits we want. But when you're not successful, you're a lunatic. I have extreme obsession to the point where like, for me, it's much easier to think about something 16 hours a day for 7 days straight than it is like to like gear shift constantly. I'm like really good at just obsessing over one thing. more than anyone else on the planet. If I were to say what's my superpower, it's that I can just obsess endlessly about something, and I can just have the same thoughts over and over and over and over again. It's very weird. Like, it wasn't like it was work for me grinding YouTube for those 10 years or whatever where no one was really watching it. It's just like kind of who I am.
There's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different than what has happened for the last 50 million years of history. You have to believe that something different can happen.
It don't matter how f***ed up that shit might look. It don't matter how much it feel like it ain't gonna work.
Delusional.
Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion. Because it's only delusional until it works. So is it really delusional? Once the world see it, there's nothing delusional about it. Now, your delusion becomes, oh, he was a genius. We didn't see it when he saw it. We didn't understand it when he did. We thought this motherfucker was crazy.
Everybody's a fighter in their own right. You're a fighter, I'm a fighter. Everyone that's in this room, even the newspapermen, they're fighters. But everybody don't get up every morning and run. Everybody don't go to the gym every morning. And everybody don't have enough discipline to wait in the locker room for 2 hours or 3 hours, then go in the ring and do what they've been taught all those years in the gym. And so that's what separates a champion from a mediocre fighter.
I got to the Patriots, and you talked about that one moment where I said, wow, I can really do this. So think about it. I had been in all this competition at Michigan. I had Brian Greasy ahead of me lead us to a national championship. I had one of the top recruits in the country, Drew Henson, and I was staring those guys down every day. Here I come to the Patriots, and I get drafted, and I'm 4th on the depth chart, and I finally see Drew Bledsoe throw the ball for the first time. And in my very naive, competitive way, because he signed a 10-year, $100 million contract with the New England Patriots when I was making $185,000, I looked at him and I go, I could throw the ball better than that. Which I was the only one on the field who saw that, and I wasn't, but I had a belief that I could if I worked the same way, and if I gained the trust and respect of my teammates in the same way, that if I ever did get that position, and I told this to my best friend who was one of my roommates in college, I said, if they ever put me on the field, they're never gonna take me off the field. And they never did.
In the race of life, life's not gonna give you a glass of water when you're thirsty. And I realized that. And once again, people go, my God, your life is horrible. It's not.
Yeah.
This is how I live. And if there's not people like me in this world with this kind of mentality, it's not be like David Goggins, go run 200 miles. Take something from this. Remember where I started from. You don't need to go where I went.
Right.
I went this far because I started opening different doors to the cellar in my brain. My God, is this possible? Oh my God, that's possible. This possible. I started opening different compartments. You can leave them shut. I don't care. So what I do now in the morning times, I do this because why life's not going to give me the get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
And if I come on here on this podcast and talk this stuff, I have to live what I say.
You've lost touch with who you are, the core of your being. You're on social media too much. You're listening to what other people are telling you. You're listening to what your parents told you should be doing in life. You're listening to what your friends think is cool. You're listening to what the culture is all about, the entertainment industry, etc. You got to cut all that shit out. You got to listen to yourself. And you got to be a bit bold. And you have to embrace what makes you different. I say what makes you weird because I know personally I'm a very weird person. If you saw me at home, you'd go, whoa, he talks to his animals like that? He's talking to his bottle of shampoo when he's showering? That guy's strange. I like it. I don't mind being weird. I use it to my advantage. I put it in my books. You have weirdness to you, whoever you are. Things that you might sometimes be a little bit ashamed or embarrassed or uncomfortable with, right? But you shouldn't be. What makes you different, what makes you particularly strange, if you want to use another word, is your strength, is your source of power.
For me, that was a gift that life gave me, was this low-key delusional belief. And so when I was living in Moss Side, stealing pizzas and stuff, I started recording it in my diary and doing little videos. And it's crazy. In the first page of my diary, I lied to my diary. I said, I'm recording these
this journey because a production company has asked me. It was just that I always believed I'd be here. However, when I try and impose that onto people and tell them the importance of self-belief, and I see these people who have got their confidence just absolutely in the bin because of experiences they've had, or their dad when they were 4 years old told them that they're a piece of shit, and my fluffy words at when they're 35 aren't stronger than those words that their dad said to them, I struggle to try and tell them how to get to that place of genuine self-belief, because as I said, you can't fake it. If Steve had a shred of doubt in Moss Side, I'd still be there.
How did you cultivate that self-belief?
Being told no all the time, being told I can't all the time. And I think for me, I know that there's certain things that I'm not amazingly great at, but I guess the self-belief thing really came from always knowing that I was meant for more. For me, I always thought, why should I limit myself? I believe that anybody can do anything. I think you can break the model. Steve Jobs, break the model. Mark Zuckerberg, break the model. I think that there's no one blueprint that you have to follow, and that's what I get most of my inspiration from for myself.
So you and I agree on that completely. You can do anything you set your mind to.
Absolutely.
But most people don't.
It's true.
So solve a riddle for me. Why don't they?
I think they don't because of fear. I think a lot of people are afraid to jump all the way. It's kind of like having faith. A lot of us say we believe, but we don't really show it. Through my journey, I figured out the one piece I was missing. I thought it was cars. I thought it was women. The one piece I was missing was me having the courage to face myself. And once you do that on a daily basis, it's not about the running. People are going to be about working out. Where I got my work ethic from was the hours I had to spend learning this. When you sit down and you're not smart, and you have a disability, and you still want to be at the top of your class, I didn't want to just get by. When I realized that I can learn through hard work, and I can beat the valedictorian of school, but I got put in 10 hours more a day than he does. You know what kind of strength comes from that? When you're sitting down, that guy that valedictorian studied for an hour, and you know I caught you, and I am dumb, but I have the work ethic to catch you. That's where David Goggins got really invented, was at a kitchen table with 20 spiral notebooks that were empty. And then 3 months later, they were full. This is unbelievable. There's no miles. It's not about the miles. It's that, having a discipline every day to say, for me to learn this one math problem, it's gonna take me 10 hours.
Wow.
And that's where and you realize through hard work, you can outwork anybody, no matter how badass they are.
You have to be the champ before you be the champ. You understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can't just pop this by training and doing push-ups and knocking people out. I'm the champ. No, you have to be the actual champ. Your conduct, your lifestyle have to be the champ before you actually wear the belt.
I tried 24 different businesses to finally get to AppSumo, to finally eventually get rich. So yeah, you're swinging, but just one works, awesome. But I think people don't swing enough. They don't even get started swinging, and that's, they're not ready on the sidelines. And there's never a good time. The best time is right now. It's not yesterday because that passed. It's not tomorrow because you don't know. It's right now.
The reason I always do things that I think I might fail at is because I don't care what anybody thinks if I lose. It's a very big deal, guys. The reason I take so many risks, and always did, and that's why I won, was because if I lost, I didn't care about what anybody thought about my L. It's my fucking L. I'm telling you, if you can figure out how to get every voice out of your mind, your whole life will change. Doesn't mean you don't take advice from people, but if you realize how to get quiet up here, everything's different, man. What's scary about failure? I love losing. It means I learned something.
If I'm really honest, to have a certain level of success, I do believe you do have to be obsessed with it. If your goal is to be successful, but then also have weekends and also have a certain standard of relationship and have family, that's not wrong. That is your goal and you do that. But when people say that to me, my goals are, I want to be exceptionally good at this one thing. Yeah. And that is going to require a certain level of dedication.
I just believe in me. And I'm gonna overcome all my adversities. I'm not gonna, it's like this. the truth set you free, but it's gonna make you miserable first. And so I realized life is all about, in here, it's all about your belief system. I
love that.
Listen, 1 minute you could say, I'm a nobody. Listen to me. I'm living in an abandoned building with my family, and next day I'm Mike Tyson.
What does it take to be a true champion, to be the best in the world at something? You lived it for a long time. What does the mindset have to be like if someone wants to be the best at what they do?
It's just that dedicating and sacrificing your life to be in a particular way you want to be. Like you want to conduct it. Say you want to be like Tony Robbins. You get all the information you can about Tony Robbins, and you conduct your. This is how I want to live my life. This is almost like this is your manuscript.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your blueprint. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to live like Tony. I'm not going to be Tony Robbins, but I'm going to live it. I'm going to conduct myself like Tony Robbins.
Yeah. So you gotta live it, you gotta breathe it.
Yes, and you have to be that before you actually become the person.
Interesting.
You're not gonna become the person overnight. Like, you think you're prepared to be Tony Robbins right now? Right now. Tomorrow you're Tony Robbins. You didn't know. It's gonna take time, so I'm gonna become this guy. You know, I'm gonna be this guy before, because you're not ready. But when the time comes, you're gonna be ready. You're gonna be Tony Robbins. This is my life. I'm accustomed to this. Of course I got this role. Of course I got this job. Of course I got this raise. I'm prepared for it. You wouldn't even be surprised.
Most people in boxing say the only thing that can beat Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson himself. That remains to be seen.
Listen, the results speak for itself. I don't have to say anything.
Nobody want to deal with crazy.
Got trembling bones. Then everybody fear me. I'm the king of the barbarians.
Mike's pacing the ring with his shirt off. These big men were scared stiff.
I'm not afraid of nobody. To show who the real world champion is, the best fighter in the era.
Champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
Y'all guys know what I do. Y'all know what I do. I put people in body bags, so we know what's gonna happen.
I know I already broke his spirit.
You still wanna f with me? I'm not scared of these guys. These guys think they intimidate me and they think that I think that they're scared. Oh well, if they're scared, that's all I know. I'm gonna bring the pain to them. And that's all it is. Then we go see how tough you are. Tough guy.
I keep my eyes on him. I keep my eyes on him. I keep my eyes on him.
I knew when I came to this fight, I was the best fighter in the world. Not a man alive that can beat me. I'm not worrying about losing to him.
The undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, greatest fighter that ever lived.
I'm the best ever. There's no one that can match me. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
They're gonna fear me. You have to be the champion before you become the champion, so that means lifestyle. You have to be him before you become him. You gotta be him before you become him. That's how it starts. You look at somebody, I wanna be like him. You don't say, hey, I'm a bad motherfucker. I wanna fight everybody out here, nobody's gonna kick my ass. You see somebody and say, hey, I might wanna do that.
Well, greatness is when you make your delusions your reality. Nothing's impossible for somebody who's gonna try. If you're gonna try, it's capable of being done.
But you'd fight Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I'll fight a lion if the price is right. My whole objective is your total surrender, your total domination. I'm gonna destroy you.
That's why Rogan said when he watched you, you were intimidating. Your rage is a very unique rage.
Well, that's their fault to be intimidating. How you gonna let somebody scare you for something you worked for? I respect a person who's willing to die for what he truly wants. Ali had the will to win like nobody that ever lived in boxing. Then he believed he projected to his opponent. Really look at how does Ali beat George Foreman? How does Ali beat Sonny Liston? How do you beat these guys? How did he even beat Joe Frazier? Fighting the way he fights. He beat them because he refused to lose. But we have to believe that we're divine and that we learn from our experience, because confidence breeds success and success breeds confidence. They go hand in hand. You have to know who you are first. you know who you are. I know who I am. People say the grades all the time, you this, you that. Whatever they say, I know who I am. Without self-love, you're nothing. Because self-love is discipline. And discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. I never wanted to be obscure. I was born in obscurity and I never wanted to deal with that again. I'm invincible, I'm a savage, I'm ferocious. I'm the smartest savage. I knew I wasn't going to die before I became champ. When this is over, everybody's going to know my name.
Did you ever fight somebody that you were like, that they got you? Was there ever a kid that got you or no?
Absolutely. In order to be good, you have to lose it and understand loss. Because loss is life. Adversity make the strong stronger or the weak weaker.
11, 12, 13, what happens next? So
Get arrested, and I see Muhammad Ali come to visit the institution that I'm in.
You said you're in jail and Ali shows up?
I'm 12 years old and Ali comes there and they showed the movie The Greatest first, so this is 77. And after the movie's over, the lights come up and Ali comes in. And I see him, I wow, I want to be just like him. I don't know how it happened, the spirit hit me, boom, I want to be like him. And then I get transferred to this other facility, you know, for real bad kids. I met a gentleman there that was a boxer and he used to teach me how to box. So he took me to a great trainer named Customato, and that's why I'm here. I respected Ali and I worshiped Ali. Yeah, this is the moment I knew I wanted to be a fighter.
Unfreaking believable story. So your inspiration happened at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Then you meet Cus.
Yes.
How is Cus treating you? What was his way of leading you?
This degree of just peeling all that dirt and stuff, that insecurity and developing into character. And that's why I had a wonderful time with him, because everything about his life was about me. And this world is one big school, and we're the students of this world. The mind is always hungry. And the mind wants to do good, but we get so many negative thoughts in our mind, it's almost overwhelming to be positive. Listen, I've been down and up, broken up, and why am I still here? Because life is going to give everybody a bad hand. No one's going to leave here without being tried in life.
So inspiration. So is that what got you to be willing to be disciplined to get what you want, like to become a champion? At 14 years old, I'm willing to do everything it takes to be a champion?
Absolutely. And then I had Cus over there telling me why should he have it? That's one thing I never had in my life, because I always got picked on and I never had jealousy or enviness about anything. And Cus possessed that, you know, and he was telling me, why should he have all that money and you don't? Why do you believe that he's better than you? Why do you think he should have all that money and you don't? And he was really serious about it. And that was the competition shit. That's it right there, breathing that stuff right in me. Why should he have it and he's not better than you?
How did you handle that when he told you that, 14? Would it piss you off? Were you like, I'm gonna go train to whoop his ass? And get there one day, what was your response to it?
He said one day, this guy knew how to really get in my head. He said, man, you're fighting good, but I wish you were bigger. He said, I wish you were like Kenny Norton, Mike Weaver, because they had big bodies and they could intimidate somebody. And that hurt my feelings. I said, I make sure the whole world's gonna be afraid of me.
He trained me to be totally ferocious in the ring and out.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was. That's what I was, yeah. Push yourself more. You push yourself when you sometimes you have to submit to yourself. I'm doing everything. And the first thing in the morning, 3 in the morning, you do your 4 miles, come back in.
3 in the morning?
Yeah. Do your 4 miles, come back in, do your body exercise and all that stuff. After that, I go downstairs, eat breakfast, go to the school, come back from school, eat my dinner, go back to the gym at 6 o'clock, train, come back at 8 o'clock, watch fights, start all over again. Everybody here is gonna fight for what they love for. Even if they never had a fist fight in their life, they're gonna fight. Listen, once I'm involved in something, I wanna know the beginning of it. I wanna know where it came from, how it was started, who's the first guy that invented it. That's just how my mind works. How could these guys even dare fight me? How dare you even think that you could beat me?
And you sound like a mathematician when you're talking about the art of boxing.
I was born for it. There's nothing I would do unless I have a possibility of being humiliated. Because when I succeed, I truly succeed. I was bred to climb high and high into the sky and tumble down. I am truly grateful that I found my wings before I hit the ground. I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. You might not know this now, but you're this close, igniting your inner champion and reclaiming your destiny. It's just that I want to be up more than anybody on the planet want me to be down. Be champion before you become champion. Wanting to get the best out of yourself, not competing with anyone else but you. I don't back down from anyone, and that's what got me in trouble. I don't play games, I don't kiss anyone's ass, and I'm a real man, and that's regardless of being a fight or anything, I'm a man, and that's why I want to be a man. And if I die, I want to die a man. And when you're really focused, you hear everything. When I come to the ring, I notice everybody, I can hear you breathing. I can hear you talking, I hear everything. When I come out, I have supreme confidence, but I'm scared to death. I'm totally afraid. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid of being humiliated. But I'm totally confident. The closer I get to the ring, the more confidence I get. The closer, the more confidence I get. The closer, the more confidence I get. But the closer I get to the ring, I'm more confident. Once I'm in the ring, I'm a god. No one can beat me. There's no one who stop me. The world will know my name till the end of time. They call me the greatest. Because I'm a savage. That's who I was. I didn't want nothing until I got something. And when I said something, I mean the crown.
You knew from the beginning the world was going to know who Mike Tyson was.
100%, yeah.
At what age did you know that?
14.
Why is that?
Because I was beating everybody at 14. More than my skills, I had the mindset. To kill, destroy, break them down. It's just, I'm the greatest. You know, success is all about a lifestyle. I lived a lifestyle as a champion at 14. In order to be the champ, you have to live a lifestyle as a champ. It's all about discipline, doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. That's what it's all about. If you don't have discipline, I don't care how skillful you are, you're nothing. If you don't want to be the best ever, why are you here? Confidence breeds success, and success breeds confidence. It's all about the belief that you can do it. Belief is more powerful than anything. Only thing we can do is just have that focus and believe in ourselves and believe that I want to be up, then anybody in the world wants me to be down. And it's all about, well, like I said before, self-belief. My whole success is from belief. I just believe in me, and I'm gonna overcome all my adversity. The truth will set you free, but it's gonna make you miserable first. And that's how we improve as a person, improving ourselves. You have to first have the aptitude to do what you claim you want to do. And if you have that, and the determination and the will to win, there's nothing that you can't do. Impossible is nothing compared to anybody that tries. Nothing's impossible then. Confidence breeds success, success breeds confidence, and confidence applied properly will supersede a genius. Life is just a circle. They're gonna hate me again one day, and then God willing, they're gonna respect me again one day. Because in order to be a master, you have to first be a fool, I guess. You have to believe in yourself before you believe in anything else. God, religion, you have to believe in you. And once you believe in you and have a relationship with you, there's nothing that you can't do. You have to be the champion in this, to be the champion in this.
I just know when people go all in on the thing they love, magical things start to happen. Maybe it doesn't happen right away, but magical things start to happen. It's almost like, what if you obsessed and went all in on these things? What could you create?
We're running at 40%, most of us, you know, because we're half in and half out. And it's not surprising because life is difficult. It's like, well, what if you were 90% in or 95% in or all in? Because you're all in anyways, right? It's a life and death game. No one gets out of this. Everyone dies. You might as well commit yourself.
We all live in our bubble. My therapist calls it the lifeboat. We all live in our lifeboat, right? But we're all on the same ocean. So depending on how good your lifeboat is, you will weather the storm or not.
Because if you're not willing to go in there and face yourself, you're not gonna find anything. You can live right here on surface, man, right here on surface.
Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it. Boy, that never goes out of style, does it? I mean, think about it. If you're gonna do something, if you've chosen to do something, whatever it is, easy, hard, if you give it your all and you don't half-ass it, win, lose, draw, get what you want, don't get what you want, whatever the outcome is, if you don't half-ass it, at least you're not gonna have to wonder, ooh, would the outcome have been different?
I feel like we spend too much of our lives waiting on life to happen. Sometimes we need to start being in life instead of trying to see it.
This is my belief. When you go all in on something and you truly believe in your heart that this is what you're meant to do, and you let go of something, you're like, but I don't want to lose this, because what if they're going to be a great partner in the future? What if they're going to be a great parent? Well, they show these qualities that maybe they could work out for me. As opposed to, no, going all in on the thing that you know you're meant to do.
So it's today the day, right? The biggest fear they have is making a mistake, right? They don't want to be seen stupid. They don't want to lose status as a result of this decision. And so when we're dealing with that, it's making them understand that you don't need time to make a decision. You need information. But so many people are stuck in that same spot for why they're not taking action, whether it's selling a product or selling themselves.
Don't you get it? Through all the bumps in the road and the stormy weather, the heart of a champion they can never measure. That's why you have to be all in.
So if there is an ending to this world and there is somewhere to go and there's a judgment, you're gonna get there and you might see a chart. And that chart may tell you who the fuck you should have been. And now you get the rest of your life to think about that. Man, I could have lived a much better life if I just would have just suffered a little bit more. If I just would have went in that shit and realized I had so much more. But fear and the 40% and living here versus living here, being afraid, stop me.
I struggle. So that's the language I'm great at. So if I can break down things into a struggle language, now I make it the game winnable for everybody. And that's the goal, to make the game winnable for everybody who's bold enough to step into the batting cage. If you bold enough to do that, I was bold enough to jump in a goddamn 152-foot tank with sharks in Dubai. If you're bold enough to do it, there's an experience that comes from that. And that experience is so exhilarating, it will take you to the next level. Because now you keep chasing the next level of you. And that is when you start understanding life at a whole nother concept, when you start understanding that, yo, for the longest, I was just low-level living. I was low-level thinking.
There's going to be days when you're aching and tired and sore, and there's people in your family that are sick, and you're cynical and bitter, and you need a reason to get up, and you think, yeah, well, a little more heaven and a little less hell maybe I can pull that off today and tomorrow and next week. And that's worth struggling forward for.
Let's play this out, right? It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Because if you keep repeating this habit, you're going to end up 5 years from now, you're going to look at your life the same way you're looking at it now and hating it.
But I just want to remind everybody that I didn't make a video to the world about anything about business until I was 35 years old. I'm very excited about this. I plan on doing this 4 to 5 times a week. We're looking to put the video up about 4 or 5 p.m. There's a whole lot of talking going on. How about more action? How about more execution? How about more paying prices for what your mouth is saying? That is what I hope you do.
Give more, go all in, be all in. Don't you get it? The victory is already yours. You just gotta claim it. You just gotta stake it. You just gotta bring it into life. And you cannot bring it into life if you're going halfway.
In order to get something we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. In order to get something we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. Right now, if you don't like your physique and you want a better one, what you are currently doing is not going to get it for you. You can't keep sleeping in and doing the same day after day, or you're gonna look the same for the rest of your life. If you want that supercar, but you're in a job right now that can't afford the supercar, you need to get out of it. In order to get things we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. You gotta switch it up.
Oftentimes, it feels like it is impossible, an insurmountable feat to get past and beat it. But as long as I can feel it, I'm not in a state of paralysis. If you can feel it, you can move it. So I ask you the question. Sometimes I gotta look myself in the mirror and ask myself, is that all you got? Come on, you're prepared, you're conditioned, you've been beaten, you've been battered, you've been broken, you've been left for dead, but there's more because you're breathing and you feel it. So if you can feel it, you can push it, so push past. The truth of the matter is, that's not all you have. There's more left in you.
Be all in or be forgotten. Be all in or be a nobody. Be all in or be somebody that has absolutely no opportunity to leave a legacy on this world. Be all in or be somebody that nobody respects. Be all in or be somebody that leaves this earth with regrets.
I said to myself, who on this fucking earth would still be going right now? You are. You are. I believed it. I believe it today. I believed it enough to where my body said, he's not gonna stop. I took all the negative things. I need to go to the hospital, this and that. And I used it all. Who the hell could even get out of that chair? You did. Who the hell would even think about taping stress fractures up? You did. All those things I used for motivation.